Inside every cell, tiny power plants called mitochondria decide how much energy you have for your day. When they're stressed by poor sleep, processed food, or constant notifications, they slow down. Simple shifts, like adding a 5-minute morning stretch to boost circulation or spacing meals to give cells a rest, wake them back up. Think of it as flipping the breaker on your internal power grid. The hidden engine. Inside every cell of your body lives a microscopic powerhouse known as the mitochondrion, and it quietly determines how much energy you have for the day. These tiny structures convert the food you eat and the oxygen you breathe into adenosine triphosphate, ADP, the fuel that keeps every organ, muscle, and thought functioning. When your mitochondria are thriving, you feel alert, strong, and mentally sharp. When they're under strain, your energy crashes, leaving you sluggish no matter how much coffee you drink. Modern life puts these power plants under constant pressure. Late-night screen time shortens deep sleep cycles, robbing mitochondria of the repair period they need. Diets high in processed foods flood the body with inflammatory compounds and unstable blood sugar spikes, which disrupt the delicate chemical reactions inside each cell. Even the steady ping of notifications or the mental clutter of multitasking triggers stress hormones like cortisol, which over time interfere with mitochondrial efficiency. The result is a slow drain on your energy reserves, something you feel as afternoon fatigue, foggy focus, or that unshakable sense of heaviness when you try to get moving. The encouraging news is that small, deliberate actions can reverse this decline and flip the breaker back on for your internal power grid. Begin with movement first thing in the morning. A simple 5-minute stretch routine. Rolling your shoulders, twisting your spine gently, opening your hips, boosts circulation and floods your cells with fresh oxygen and nutrients. This immediate delivery of raw materials signals your mitochondria to start producing energy for the day ahead. It's like giving them an early morning wake-up call. Spacing meals is another subtle yet powerful strategy. Instead of grazing constantly, allow 3 to 4 hours between eating occasions. This short pause gives your digestive system time to clear out byproducts and lets mitochondria focus on energy production rather than endlessly processing new fuel. People often notice steadier energy levels and fewer midday crashes within just a week of adopting this pattern. Supporting these habits with mindful breathing amplifies the effect. Deep, slow inhales draw more oxygen into the bloodstream, while controlled exhales reduce stress hormones that sap energy. Even a few minutes of intentional breathing, practiced once or twice a day, can noticeably improve the efficiency of mitochondrial function. Think of your mitochondria as the silent workers keeping the lights on in a massive city. If the power stations become clogged or neglected, blackouts occur no matter how many lamps you switch on. But when you treat those power stations with care, through rest, nourishing food, movement, and calm, they respond quickly, restoring a bright, steady flow of energy that carries you through the day. Breath as fuel. Most of us go through our entire day breathing just enough to stay alive, but not nearly enough to help our bodies truly thrive. We treat breathing as something automatic, background noise we rarely notice. Yet it is the most direct, continuous source of energy we have. Every cell in the body depends on a steady supply of oxygen to produce fuel, and the quality of each breath directly influences how efficiently that fuel is created. Shallow chest breathing, the kind we slip into while hunched over a desk or scrolling a phone, limits oxygen intake and leaves carbon dioxide trapped in the lungs. Over hours and days, this subtle pattern lowers vitality, clouds concentration, and even tightens the muscles of the neck and shoulders. Deep diaphragmatic breathing, sometimes called belly breathing, changes that picture completely. When you consciously expand the lower ribs and allow the diaphragm to move downward, you create space for the lungs to fill more fully. This simple shift increases oxygen flow to the bloodstream, which means more raw material for cellular energy production. At the same time, slow, deep breathing sends a signal through the vagus nerve to the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and restore branch that lowers heart rate and blood pressure. In practical terms, it dials down stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, the very chemicals that drain energy and keep the mind on edge. A basic technique requires no equipment and only a quiet moment. Sit or stand tall, place one hand on your belly and the other on your chest, and inhale gently through the nose for a count of 4. Feel the belly rise as air fills the lower lungs. Hold that breath for a comfortable count of 2. Then exhale through the mouth for a count of 6, letting the belly fall. Repeat this cycle for 2 minutes. The longer exhale is key. It cues the nervous system to relax, unlocking a state of calm alertness. Many people notice a subtle but unmistakable lift in mental clarity and a steadier mood after just a few rounds. The benefits go beyond a quick sense of calm. Regular diaphragmatic breathing trains the body to tolerate and use carbon dioxide more efficiently, which in turn allows oxygen to be released more readily to the tissues that need it most. Over time, this practice can improve endurance, sharpen focus during demanding tasks, and reduce the frequency of tension headaches or midday energy slumps. Unlike stimulants or sugary snacks, it delivers an energy surge with 0 calories and no crash. Think of each deep breath as a natural battery charge. By reclaiming something you already do thousands of times a day, you tap into an energy source that is renewable, free, and instantly available. 2 minutes of deliberate breathing, repeated once or twice during your daily routine, can be enough to transform stress into focus and fatigue into steady power. Proving that sometimes the most powerful health tools are the ones we've been carrying inside us all along. Micromovement magic. Long hours of sitting are like quietly pulling the plug on your body's battery. At first you might not notice the drain. Your posture shifts, shoulders round, and hips tighten. But beneath the surface, circulation slows and muscles begin to lose their natural elasticity. Blood sugar rises because your largest muscles, especially in the legs and glutes, are no longer contracting to help clear glucose from the bloodstream. Over time, this sedentary rhythm signals the body to store more fat, stiffen connective tissues, and dampen the enzymes that burn calories. The result is a subtle but steady loss of energy, the kind that makes even simple tasks feel heavier by late afternoon. The fix isn't a punishing workout or an expensive gym plan. What your body really needs are micromovements, short bursts of activity sprinkled throughout the day that remind every system to stay awake. Standing up from your chair and stretching for 2 minutes every half hour may sound trivial, but these brief interludes wake the muscles, improve joint lubrication, and spark a fresh flow of oxygen-rich blood to the brain. They also help regulate insulin, which keeps blood sugar levels stable and prevents the sluggish post-lunch crash many people accept as normal. Think of these movement breaks as flicking the light switch back on inside your cells. Set a simple timer on your phone or computer to chime every 30 minutes. When it does, push back from the desk, roll your shoulders, and take a slow walk across the room or down the hallway. Rotate your ankles, gently twist your spine, or reach overhead to lengthen the muscles that tighten while sitting. None of these actions will leave you breathless, but they nudge the cardiovascular system into gear and keep lymph fluid moving, which is essential for removing cellular waste. Over the course of a week, these tiny habits accumulate into something surprisingly powerful. 2 minutes of movement every half hour across an 8-hour workday adds up to more than half an hour of extra activity per day, over 3 full hours by Friday. That's 3 hours of improved circulation, better glucose control, and joint protection achieved without a single trip to the gym. People who adopt this practice often notice reduced lower back tension, sharper concentration, and more stable energy levels within just a few days. The beauty of micromovement is its accessibility. You don't need workout clothes, special shoes, or even much space. You simply need to give yourself permission to interrupt the inertia of sitting. Whether you work at a corporate office, a home desk, or a coffee shop, the principle is the same. Frequent, gentle movement keeps the body's electrical systems charged. Treat these mini breaks as non-negotiable, like brushing your teeth or drinking water. Over time, you'll discover that the small choice to stand and stretch is not just a pause in productivity. It's the key to sustaining it. Nutrients that spark. Quiet energy also depends on what you feed your cells. Magnesium, omega-3 fats, and brightly colored vegetables provide the raw materials for steady power. Focus on whole foods, leafy greens, nuts, wild fish, while cutting back on ultra-processed snacks. It's not a diet trend. It's giving your mitochondria the tools to work like they were designed to. Your silent energy plan. Imagine starting each morning with a clear head, stable mood, and energy that lasts until night. Begin with 3 actions. Practice the 2-minute breathing drill, schedule micro-movement breaks, and add 1 magnesium-rich food to every meal. These quiet habits build momentum you can feel in a single week. Your body already knows how to generate power. You just have to stop getting in its way.